Jane, Ron, and John. My husband.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to say thank you very much everyone for coming out. We're finally getting a chance with COVID and all that to just say some kind words about Mom and share some memories and just have fun. But so really what we were going to do is maybe just do an outline of Mom's history, and there's not a lot you can help me with it, but she was born in 1932.
Not 1949 is the famous.
Oh, wow. And she was born in Brady, you were saying?
Sure, she was 2 pounds. And she ended up being jaundice and having to spend time in the hospital. And then Grandma would pump milk and take it up to her every couple times a day to the hospital so that she would have fresh milk. And so it was about a month when she was finally able to come home, but she was still really, really tiny.
Yeah, and her parents were Gabriel. You probably see a few pictures of Gabriel Pompetti and Florence Rose. And her siblings were Dorothy, Alvine, and Ron. Well, that's very good.
Let's do it again.
And one thing about which Spencer takes after, Grandma, she played accordion in her younger years, so she did quite well. Played for the boys overseas when they went to war, and she did the Highland dance, and all that kind of stuff. So Spencer's following in Grandma's footsteps.
Nice to entertain.
Yeah.
So my friend is waiting. You keep walking further back towards the wall.
And another thing, Mom loved movies. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Going to see movies, and did you know what her first job was?
She worked in the charger plate office.
That's right, charges.
Credit cards.
Yeah.
Back when you had to.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then she ended up going back to school while she was still working there and finished her high school.
Nice. And then, so she married Dad, Harold, in, was it 1951?
Yes.
So she was 2 years old, according to the.
2 years old when she married. And you're
I'm not going to let that go, buddy.
58. And then, this was all in Montreal. And then before Ron was born,
They moved to Canada.
yeah, they moved to Canada, they went to Toronto, and Ron was born in Toronto.
The only Canadian in the family.
That's why he's different color.
Yeah.
Darker hair.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened between Montreal and Toronto? Those two young.
So from, Toronto, we weren't there long. I think you were born?
Just long enough to bring me into the world and move to the London area.
Yeah, and came to London. And, from there, I think Dad drove us, and Mom worked at Canteen Canada.
Yep, that was her first job.
Yeah, so she was, Canteen Canada in Kellogg's.
Yeah, Kellogg's and Firestone.
Firestone, Colorado. Yeah. And then she met Claire. And no, where's Nan? Do you remember what year Mom and Papa Kelly got married? It was mid-70s.
I got married, my first husband, I think was 74. I think they got married the year before, right? Maybe
So 73, okay.
No, it's probably after that because Judy and I were together, but we weren't married yet.
Okay.
So it would have been
70.
77 is when we met, so.
we met 77, so it would be
77, 78.
yeah, so it's probably more like 78.
Okay.
They met long before that.
Yeah. Papa Kelly was a driving instructor, and that's how Mom kept on failing their driver's And then, really, that's all I got.
Yeah. So Mom's love for movies, she's the kind of person that if you wonder who played in any movie, back in the black and white movie days, she knew every actor, every actress, every plot line. And this is probably a good one to get to this, but back when I was still at home, when Jane and John were already at school and I'd be hanging out with Mom, we'd usually watch the afternoon movie on CBC or Channel 10. Yeah, and we'd watch, they always had the old black and white movies on, so I got to hear all about what the movies were all about and who the different actors and actresses were. So it's kind of a good memory I have from my childhood. Amongst many, many others.
Yeah, she was, what is it, IMDb?
Oh, yeah, she was
original
IMDb, yeah.
And I think, Adam, you could come up and say a few words.
I wrote something because I never remember it unless I wrote it down. Grandma Kelly. When I was a kid, I firmly believed my Grandma Kelly was a celebrity. She knew everyone and everyone knew her. No matter where we would go or what we would do, my grandma had a friend there. Someone else always knew Grandma and she would chat with him for a bit, time would disappear. There was a Halloween when I was a kid that Grandma made this dino costume for me. And I recall going door to door down Whitehall Drive, meeting all the neighbors. And what felt like every house, I would get, "You're Gloria's grandchild." And at the time, in my young eyes, my grandma was the coolest. And everyone on the block thought she was popular. As an adult, I can look back on that time and realize Grandma was a genuinely nice person and got to know all the people in the neighborhood. And in some ways, Grandma was a 90s social media influencer. She would walk the block, get the latest gossip, share a kind word, and genuinely wish people well. Depending on the people she encountered and the trials they faced, Grandma Kelly would say a prayer for them and wish them good fortune. Grandma Kelly always had a passion for people that just can't quite be replicated in the digital world. Her Facebook messages were absolutely amazing. Sometimes the messages and comments were out of context to the actual post they were on. But the messages were always heartfelt. Social media did become a lifeline for her. She got to see photos of all of us, and we all know how much she loved photos. There was a line in the movie 1 Hour Photo. People don't take photos of things they want to forget. They take photos of things they want to remember, the things that they care about. Grandma Kelly cared a lot for all the people in her life, and she took lots of photos, probably over 1 million photos in her life. If anyone saw her computer screensaver, they got to see some of the photos in her collection. She easily had a terabyte worth of images. A whole external hard drive was dedicated just for photos. And the best part is that if you watch the screensaver long enough, you'd see yourself age throughout all the years. Grandma Kelly cared about us all so much. And I know I've said that a lot, but it's true. And if you needed a place to go or a person to talk to, Gloria Kelly always had an open door and a warm bed. That offer was always open from her. And some of us grandkids definitely took her up on that. Grandma's home on Whitehall was a safe place, and a place where lives had been saved. Not only did Grandma know how to talk to people, she knew how to recognize when someone was hurt. She had a way of connecting with someone on an emotional level. Her way of care and compassion got through to people in a way, and her way of healing, her way of care and compassion got through to people and a way of healing some emotional wounds. She had a way of healing those wounds. I firmly believe that there are people that are alive today because of the interactions they had with Gloria Kelly. I recall a few different holidays and gatherings where Grandma would bring some random guests. Looking back on these events now, Gloria was a friend to these people at a time when they really needed one. You made the difference in this world, Grandma. You're truly an amazing person, and you've inspired me to care more about other people around me. Love you, Grandma. Toodaloo.
You saying about the photos, I remember one evening, not too long before Mom passed away, she had her computer on and the screensaver was on. And she sat there for about 5 hours, just watching all the pictures go by, and she would giggle at something and just kind of talking to the screen, but it brought her so much joy watching her life you know, with everyone and who she influenced and who she was influenced by. Especially grandchildren. She loved grandchildren. She was a baby person. And to see a baby, it was like, oh.
Are you from Montreal?
Yeah. It's always the first question.
Yeah, we were going to get a shirt made from her that said, "Are you from Montreal?" She spoke French, she must be from Montreal.
Yeah. Actually, one of the things you mentioned that brought something to mind for me, again, growing up, we would go to the grocery store, or any other store for that matter, you'd be waiting in line. By the time you got to the checkout, she would know the life history of the person either in front or behind us by the time we got there. Have their phone number, and they would be lifelong friends. So, does anybody else have anything you want to come up and share? Mom's auxiliary son.
Yes, yeah, the auxiliary. He's been in the family for what, maybe 50 plus years?
Since we were like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
I've known this family my entire life. And I've got to tell you that I can count on one hand how many times I called her Gloria. It was always Mom or Mom. She was the kind of person that made an impact on you. Wouldn't matter if you were family or a lifer in a penitentiary, it wouldn't matter. She was that kind of a person that would have that kind of an impact on you. You'd walk away from a conversation from her and you'd be in thought about that conversation for probably hours. She was the most amazing lady I've ever known. The Hanson family was closer to me than my own. Her passing was shocking. It was. Anyway, thanks for putting up with my little blurb here. These guys all know that I love them dearly. Anyway, thanks, Ma. Go with God. Thanks, guys.
So, yeah, I think, Mom's big celebration is food and music. Yeah, so hopefully we can have a bit more of that. Nice conversation, and again, thank you all for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It's
Dr.
been a great day.
All right.
Hi, everybody says we look alike. I gotta get that mustache going. But yeah, I never realized how handsome he was, though, until people started saying,
Yeah, look alike, yes.
Yeah, but we'd like to say thank you for tuning in, and it was good turnout, great food, and some awesome speeches, and thank you for being part of it.
Okay, thanks everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Took my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hill till the landslide brought it down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Oh, oh. time makes you bolder. Children get older, I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, I'm getting older too. I took my love and I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, maybe. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, maybe. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hill, well, the landslide breaks.